finished Final Fantasy XVI this morning, and I wasn't really sure where best to do the video, but it turns out that there's a virtual training mode you can go into, where you can choose what you want to fight and have them fight back or not. So let's go ahead and have the enemy actually be able to do things, though he is invincible, so he won't be able to kill me, while I talk about the video game. Final Fantasy XVI is a Final Fantasy game with an action-focused combat system where you play as a single protagonist. It's basically Devil May Cry, where you want to precision dodge to avoid enemies, use combo attacks to stagger and knock them down, and then use various abilities to finish them off. That's one of the most basic combos you can do right there. The complexity of the game comes from your icons, which are the summons from other games, and you can have up to 3 of them equipped at a time, and you can switch between them in combat, which I would liken to being something like changing your weapons in DMC, and using their abilities. So every icon can have their natural ability, like Phoenix has the ability to close a distance quickly with a dash. I've got Titan equipped who's got a block, and various others that I won't get into for spoilers. And you want to kind of time your dodges, which is difficult to do while you're talking about the video game. But you want to do precision dodges where possible, because that gives you a little slow-mo and the opportunity for precision counters. And it is very much a game about dodging, like learning enemy attack patterns. Like, you do get potions and items you can use in combat to heal yourself, but you have a very limited number of them you can bring with you. And if you choose to bring healing potions, you're giving up one of your 3 item slots for the ability to do other things, like bring potions that boost your attack or defense or recharge your limit break, because you've got a limit break, which is the little gauge underneath that's a health bar. And as you can imagine from having played a Devil May Cry game, then it gives you more power and damage and regenerates your health while it's powered. And also sets your attacks on fire, which isn't. But it's primarily a game about learning attack patterns from enemies, looking for openings, dodges, and then using the openings in their attacks to do things like use your abilities, because your abilities have long cooldowns before they can be used again. Like some of them are a little bit longer than ours, depending on the power. Which you can then see in the bottom right corner. There's little circles that show you which of your abilities are available on cooldown, and they glimmer when they are cooled down, so you can use them again. When you're fighting bosses don't stagger the way that a little guy like this does when using the ability, so you have to be careful not to use an ability when they're going to be attacking back, because you'll eat damage. Because if you're doing something like, say, Giga Flare, you can't move while you're doing that, because you're aiming the attack. So if you do that at the wrong time, you can eat a big hit. And that's where the complexity in the combat comes in from, is, practice, timing, and the decision making of when you want to use your abilities to maximize damage. Now, there are different enemies you can fight that will have stagger bars that you need to soften them up to weaken them for attacks, and you can get up to 50% more damage on them while you're comboing them. So it's kind of a thing of like using your abilities to weaken them to the point where they are staggered, and then also having abilities on cooldown so you can actually do damage to them while they're staggered. It's a lot of fun to play with, and you can get some pretty cool looking maneuvers out of it. I'm pretty bad at it, so I'm actually going to turn the combat off while we're doing the rest of this. But it's a lot of fun to play. Combat is very satisfying, and it's good because there's a lot of combat in the game. Like, there's only a handful of different battle tunes, but they're all absolute bangers, and they really help you get feeling like you're in an epic fight. And then there's stuff like the icon fights, where you actually get to be a massive summon against other summons, and they're some of the best and most spectacular boss fights I've played in a video game. Full stop. Not like, just this year, just straight up some of the best boss fights of all time. Something like Azura's Wrath level of ridiculous spectacle and fun. The story is excellent. It is amazingly well voice acted. The entire voice cast knock it out of the park with everything they do. Side quests are well written and emotional. Like, I was moved to tears at several occasions throughout the game, and I did actually cry at the ending. All the characters are phenomenal. They're all unique and they're very well written. And I kind of want to spend more time with them. I'm currently debating whether or not I'm going to do a new game plus just now, or come back to it in a little while and take a break to play other stuff. Probably that, but I do want to play this again at some point, and I'll probably try and get the Final Fantasy trophy for doing the higher difficulty to get the platinum at some point. It's just phenomenal all round. There are a couple of minor, small niggles, like there's a couple of chapters in the game where they're letting you cool down, wind down from the massive boss fights that you've had, and they can be a little bit long-winded. Like there's a couple of longer chains of fetch quests where you're walking back and forth between different people, talking to them, and it could be a little bit streamlined, but the price you pay for the occasional chapter where you've got 20 minutes of, I'll go with trudgery, is that the remaining 60 hours is phenomenal action and well-told story and emotional plot beats and just an all-round well-polished game. I would definitely recommend buying this day one. I'm glad I did because I had some holiday time to use to play it, and I've had an excellent time with it. It's going to be in the Game of the Year list, though still slightly behind Theatrhythm because Theatrhym's just that good. But, I mean, my current Game of the Year list has 3 games from Square Enix in it, so I dare say they're going to be pretty happy with that. And I hope that you do get a chance to play this, and that it comes to other platforms soon, because I want more people to play this. Like, it's an absolute great time. Thanks for watching.